Damar Hamlin lay still in his hospital bed. The nighttime medical staff walked by periodically, checking on him as he lay with the tube of a breathing machine tucked inside of his mouth. Was Damar dreaming as he lay still? Only he could possibly know. If he was, what was he dreaming about? Was the 24-year-old professional athlete dreaming of hoisting a Lombardi trophy? Was he dreaming of playing with his little brother Damir? Was he dreaming of asking the cute waitress at his favorite breakfast spot out for a drink sometime? Maybe he was just dreaming of flying. On January 2nd, 2023, Damar Hamlin and the Buffalo Bills ran out of the tunnel and onto their conference foes field in Cincinnati, Ohio. This matchup was hyped to be the game of the year by sports media personalities across the country. This game could very well determine whether the road to the Super Bowl would come through Kansas City, Buffalo, or Cincinnati. This game could very well determine the fate of the Bills, Chiefs, Bengals, and Ravens. Less than half an hour after kickoff, none of that mattered anymore. We all know what happened next. Damar Hamlin watched as a receiver for the opposing team crossed into his zone, carrying the oh-so-precious football, and did exactly as he was taught to do. He brought the receiver to the ground. The play looked routine enough. It wasn't. After the tackle, Hamlin stood up and immediately fell to the ground. The ESPN crew spent the next hour trying to explain what had happened. No explanations made sense. Hamlin lay motionless on the field as medical staff worked on him behind a human wall of teammates performing a service to their brother. A service of decency, not wanting the entire world to see their brother die on national television. That burden was heavier than any weight the strong men had lifted all season. Harder than any yard any of them fought to gain or not allow. Shielding your brother in an attempt to protect every ounce of his dignity in the eyes of everyone who's ever loved him is not in the job description of a professional football player. After close to 9 minutes of resuscitation, Damar Hamlin's vitals were restored on the field before he was loaded into an ambulance and sent to the nearest hospital. It goes without saying, the silly child's game was postponed. There are 32 teams in the National Football League, all with their own fan bases, their own cultures, their own quirks. There are 30 teams in the Major League of Baseball, another 30 in the National Basketball Association, 32 in the National Hockey League, 28 in the Major League of Soccer, all with their own fans of their sports, leagues, and teams. When Damar Hamlin was taken off of the field in Cincinnati, all of those fans joined in cheering for the same man. As Damar lay hospitalized in intensive care, his foundation on GoFundMe far exceeded the initial goal of $2,500, surging over $7 million and counting. The foundation that Damar started in 2020 gives toys to underprivileged children in Pittsburgh and the community that Damar grew up in. On January 5th, 2023, Ian Rappaport of NFL Network broke the news that the entire world was waiting to hear for more than 50 hours since Damar Hamlin collapsed on a football field.
He opens his eyes last night. He is responsive. He's not talking yet because he has a tube in his mouth still, but gripping the hands of loved ones, knowing that they are there for him is all really incredible.
Later, more good news was revealed in the Twitter account of Tom Pelissero. Tom tweeted, Dr. Pritz says Damar Hamlin's signs of improvements included emerging from his sleep, following commands, and asking who won the game. With a breathing tube still in his mouth, this communication came via a piece of paper on a clipboard and a pen. Doctors took Damar's question about the game as a great sign, noting that not only are the lights on, but we know that he's home. As sports fans, We can't help but feel excited when our favorite teams make significant accomplishments. When Cal Raleigh smacks a home run sending the Mariners to the playoffs for the first time in over 20 years, or when Eli Manning heaves a football down the field that's caught on the slippery surface of a helmet in the effort to beat the previously undefeated New England Patriots in the Super Bowl of all stages. But even something as magical as the miracle on ice can't compare to what fans experienced this morning. Damar Hamlin squeezed the hand of a loved one, and we all cheered. Bills Mafia, Bengals fans, 12s, Yankees fans, Heat fans, Canuck fans, all cheered and felt more joy in Damar Hamlin's ability to squeeze his loved one's hand, more than any touchdown pass, home run, or buzzer beater we'd ever seen. So tell us, Damar, what did you dream about?